I don't know what's happening to me. When I lose control, things happen, bad things.
Whose blood is that?
This movie is very different from the previous X-Men movies. It is darker, it is grittier, it is more psychologically complex.
You messed with the mind of an 8-year-old girl. You pushed down all that pain and anger. Where do you think it's gonna go?
Our main goal was to just try and make it not feel like a superhero movie. We really wanted to put the story and Jean's journey at the forefront of the movie.
You told me my father was dead, and you used me for my powers.
It's a drama, and it's about real people who just happen to have superpowers.
Jean Grey is arguably the most powerful mutant that's ever lived. You know, she beat Apocalypse, man. And Dark Phoenix taking control of her, that's a terrifying prospect.
It felt pretty clear to us we had to be willing to go further than we had before.
Simon wanted to really hit home with the drama and bring us back to very human, real emotions.
I need you to help me find Jean.
If I find her, I'll kill her.
I know.
Got a sort of reality to it, I think, that the others didn't have.
The love and affection we have for our director, Simon Kinberg. Not only has been a fun to work every day, but from what I've seen and what he's told me, we've got something very special on our hands, guys, so we should really look forward to that.
If you'd asked me 5 years ago, let alone 10 or 15, if I wanted to direct movies, my answer was actually no. I actually wasn't that interested in directing.
Cut. Let's do one more like that.
Yeah, you know,
so good, dude. That was so good.
Somewhere along the way of the last 5 years or so, I was seeing things I wrote, feeling as if I wish I had more authorship over them.
We want to say save the old friendship this time? Hello, friend. Save the old friendship this time.
I've worked with a lot of first-time directors, and it always starts with their connection to the story. And it was very clear this is something Simon has been contemplating just as a screenplay for a long time.
Shift to your left a little bit, Beast. Yep, there you go, perfect.
At the end of making Apocalypse, I had this conversation with a couple of the actors, but specifically with Jennifer Lawrence that I have to credit, where Jennifer said, you really should be directing. And I said, no, I don't know, I'm still not sure. And she's like, you know, you really just should do it. Like, just do it.
I've wanted Simon to direct for years, if I'm honest. He was really hands-on, you know, as a producer and as a writer. He knows these movies inside and out.
And I said to her what I also said to some other people. I said, look, I'm gonna go write this Dark Phoenix script. I know that. And if I love it and I can't bear to hand it over to somebody else, then I'll lobby to direct it.
How you feeling now? Feeling good?
It started to become more clear to him that this might be the one. And I think his ambition to do it was there really from the beginning. But I don't think he really fully committed himself until he had the script really firmly in hand.
It's great for him to be getting into this with a piece of material that he wrote because he completely understands the scenes, understands their intent, is able to really describe them articulately to the cast.
We're going to say second solar flares coming at the X-Jet. Brace for impact. And everybody braces, and then right before it hits the X-Jet, it's going to divert toward where Jean, the first solar flare hit, Jean, and it's going to get even brighter, and then it explodes, and that's Jean exploding the solar flares outward from her, away from the X-Jet, away from everything. And what you're going to be watching is Jean's dead body.
Not only is he like one of the best writers in the business, but I really truly think he's one of the best directors too. It's incredible.
I was very excited when I heard that he was going to come on and direct this one. I feel like he's definitely earned it, and seeing him on set, he's just sort of taken to like a duck to water. It's been amazing.
You've come here to kill me? Yes. Bannister. Right?
Yeah.
And then she makes a drop. And then you couldn't even do that.
For me, this script was just one where I felt like I understand it intrinsically, like in my bones, and the scale of it didn't intimidate me because I've been around so many big movies that the scale becomes second nature.
It's not something he took on lightly. It was something that he came to in a very sober, very thoughtful way.
Simon's fantastic. Obviously, writing the stories, he knows all these characters so well. He knows the film so well.
To be able to write so convincingly from Jean's perspective and have this whole movie about a mid-20s girl, and for him to really hone into her so specifically and so well, it's kind of amazing.
I thought I lost you today.
I know. But I came back to you. I'll always come back to you.
But his passion lies with working with actors and seeing the material like come to life and guiding that. And I was like, well, you need to be a director for the rest of your life then, dude. Because that's where his passion is. That's where he really comes alive.
You have one hand up on the chopper, right?
Yeah.
And one of these guys pulls their guns, and it's like, whoosh, and the gun goes flying into the water.
Okay, cool.
He's a director who's always liked acting, and he's fascinated by it, and he understands it on a level that not every director does, and he sees it as a vital tool for helping to tell your story.
Where is she? Where is she? And then boom, she's there, and you're just like that. Yeah. And then you can sell it a little bit with this. Like you have your left hand on this, and then you're selling it with just like what my body's doing right now, like that. You can't see your feet. Okay. You know.
And with Simon, he's like, this is a collaboration. We're all artists, we all have a viewpoint, and maybe you have something to give to this character that I hadn't really thought of, which is nice.
Simon loves the characters and he loves the movies so much, and it's great to work with the writer, somebody who has the whole movie in his head and knows how he wants it to go and is also willing to experiment with different versions of what he has in his head.
They begin their fight over each other.
She started to slit his throat, and she actually did slit a little bit, and then I found little blue. Just a little bit of blood from there.
Let's choreograph. Let's see what it looks like.
Hi, Chris. I'm Josh. Hey. Nice to meet you.
Hello, sir.
First of all, who are you and what are we doing here?
I have no bloody idea. I'm Chris Claremont. I'm, God help me, the writer of the source material for this film and for much of the X-Men canon.
There's going to be a bunch of photographers facing this direction, and you'll be in the sort of, it's almost like when the Queen, does her thing. You'll be one of those people, and you'll be the last person, because he has a line where he says, I gotta go, and he'll direct it straight to you.
Chris is a remarkable guy, and there's something unique about getting to have somebody who has had a hand in creating such an amazing body of work. There, as you're attempting to interpret and capture it narratively.
Dave Cockrum and Len Wein created the series, and then Dave Cockrum and I took over with the second issue, and we just decided to have a whole lot of fun. And one of the elements that we created along the way was the transformation of Jean Grey from Marvel Girl into Phoenix.
The Dark Phoenix story for me as a kid, when I first read it, was probably my most seminal experience of reading a comic book, just because of the shock of, oh my God, Jean Grey, that I thought was an ally and someone I loved this entire time, could go dark. It was just really shocking to me.
Jean! Phoenix is one small step below God. To suddenly have Jean Grey embrace that level of power, of ability, was more than she could handle.
I don't know what's happening to me.
It is more complex and sophisticated and challenging material than pretty much anything else in comics. So this is a movie that hopefully will be more complicated, more complex.
What gave the story its power was that when push came to shove, knowing, as she said to Scott Summers in their last scene together, I could hold on, but it would mean I would have to be totally aware of myself, totally resistant to the temptation for every millisecond of every day for the rest of my immortal life. And she decided if I slipped, even for a fraction, the consequences could be breathtaking. She made a choice, and the choice broke Scott's heart, it broke the reader's heart, but it turned out to be the right choice for the story, for the character, and for the series.
Jean!
I have faith in Simon. I trust Simon. I trust the team he has built up, especially the acting team he has built up. If there's any chance of making this brilliant, these are the people who can pull it off.
Simon being a first-time director and me being the first-time lead in a big movie, it was a journey together and really an education together.
Now you come here to kill me?
That's right.
And you couldn't even do that. Let me show you how.
Cut. Great fucking thing.